Hey everybody, what's going on? Helmite here, bringing another video from Grab the Lantern today. We're back with the Legends of Runeterra content today to play a deck that I have actually owned for quite some time. I originally built a sort of Sion, Jinx, control-y, discard-y deck that wasn't very good, and I eventually got bored of it and said, you know what, I'm just going to try to make Mecha-Yordles work, just because I think the concept is cool. I like a lot of the individual cards. Let's just build a deck, and I don't care how good it is. Let's just build it and see if it works. And it's worked surprisingly well. Way better than it ever could have done in my wildest dreams, which was kind of nice, honestly. So this is actually one of my most favorite decks to play that doesn't use any of the newer cards. This is Rumble Sion Mecha-Yordle. The whole point of this deck is to use a lot of the discard outlet cards that Noxus has in conjunction with the Mecha-Yordles to just get out a ton of the Mecha-Yordles because they're very efficient on their own because they cost you a card before they can come down. They can be very, very powerful, and ideally this deck is either killing my opponent, like on turn 5 with Rumble, or waiting until turn 7, dropping the Sion, and ending the game from there. With that, let's go ahead and do a quick card by card. At the 1 mana mark, I've got Reborn Grenadier as my singular unit of choice. Very strong card. This is the potential for my deck to do 6 damage on turn 1. It also means that a lot of my discard outlets allow me to get a body out as well to keep pressure on in the early stages of the game, which makes him quite nice. But he's also a discarder card on his own, which means that if I have another card that happens to want to be discarded, like Fallen Rider, I can pitch it to summon the Reborn Grenadier on turn 1, get in for damage, and then have the discard benefits in hand as well. So overall, a very flexible card for this deck. I've also got the 3 copies of Scrapheap, which I think is the most efficient Mecha-Yordle manifester in the game. Just having to pay the 1 mana at burst speed and then being able to immediately follow it up with the Mecha-Yordle that you manifested is very powerful. There are other cards that give you Mecha-Yordles, but I don't think any of them are as good as Scrapheap. There are only a couple of places where Scrapheap is actually worse, and generally it's if you're Scrapheaping and having to discard something like a Ancient Warmonger, then there's a bit of a non-synergy there, but otherwise very powerful card. Up at the 2 mana mark, we've got 3 copies of Fallen Rider and 3 copies of Squeaker as our units of choice, in addition to Pokey Stick and Scrappy's Partsapalooza. Fallen Rider, honestly, I pretty much always just pitch this guy to get the Risen Rider in hand because it's just a more efficient unit for the exact same cost. So you'll almost never see me summon this guy, though of course I will in a pinch. And Squeaker is one of those cards that discards. This is the second best manifest card for Mecha-Yordles because it's just cheap. The augment doesn't really come up that often. Every so often, Squeaker will survive long enough for me to play the Mecha-Yordle for him to get the bonus, but generally speaking, he's just a nice body for me to have in the early stages of the game, and gets me a Mecha-Yordle to sort of replace himself with, which is quite nice. We got 3 Pokey Sticks, needs no introduction, very powerful card, and 2 Scrappy's Partsapalooza. I'm not entirely sold on this card. I think the random nature of the keyword it gives means that sometimes you get something like Faded and it's useless, and sometimes you get something like Overwhelm and it's very useful. So it's a little, it's nice, but not that nice. The biggest reason I like it is because it is another discard outlet card, so I can totally just pitch it off of something like a Scrapheap, get the Partsapalooza down on turn 1, and then being able to follow that up with a Mecha-Yordle, ideally on turn 2, makes it quite efficient indeed. Up at the 3 mana mark, I've got Bilgerat Rascal as my singular unit of choice. This is another of the Mecha-Yordle manifestors, and this is starting to get less efficient. 3 mana is a decent amount of mana to be paying on top of discarding a card. Ideally, you're coming down with a Mecha-Yordle with Spell Shield that's actually quite nice and can benefit from that Spell Shield, which makes him a little bit better, but the body is just not entirely there on this unit, so it's alright. I don't necessarily always like seeing him, though, and he's another good card for me to pitch to anything that requires a discard because it's just not that efficient at the end of the day. But it is better than the Arena Promoter, which I am running because you just need enough Mecha-Yordle manifestors to make the deck work. But I definitely like this guy a little bit less than Squeaker. We also got 3 copies of Vision. This is just a pitch off of any of our discard cards and can help us win combats, as well as 3 copies of Whirling Death, which has some crazy good synergy with Rumble in particular and allows you to flip him in a single turn. Up at the 4 mana mark, speaking of which, we have 2 copies of Arena Promoter and 3 copies of Rumble. Promoter is just another Mecha-Yordle manifester. The cost reduction makes this guy slightly worthwhile, but again, I dislike this guy way more than I dislike the Bilgerat Rascal and Squeaker, so he's fine. The cost reduction is nice, but again, not that efficient, and the tough doesn't matter too much on a 3 health unit by the time you get 4 mana, but the real star of the 4 mana mark is, of course, Rumble, and Rumble is a house. You do commit a lot to playing the Rumble. You have to pitch 3 cards in order to get him his abilities, and you're pretty much always going to pitch all 3 cards. I think there's literally no reason to not discard the entire hand to make your Rumble as strong as possible, but Rumble will end the game in very short order if your opponent doesn't have an out for him immediately. He actually has some synergy with the other Mecha-Yordles, unlike some other decks that I've seen play Rumble. This deck actually can flip Rumble quicker than normal without needing to use things like Whirling Death because I have Mecha-Yordles already down, and naturally he gets me Mecha-Yordles or pumps up the Mecha-Yordles that I've got in hand, which I've already been getting from my other manifestors. Just a very powerful card, and ideally I drop him on turn 4, swing him in, and my opponent just kind of loses the game from there because of how much pressure Rumble's able to put out. Up at the 5 mana mark, we've got 3 copies of Ancient Warmonger. This is another really powerful pitch to basically anything, but most notably Rumble. It does put up Rumble to a 7/4 quick attack spell shield impact, which is just phenomenally strong. In a pinch, I can drop this guy. A 5/5 for 5 with Overwhelm is totally playable, but generally this is almost always going to be a pitch to one of my discard outlets. 3 copies of Hidden Pathways. I just mentioned it with the Rumble, but this deck tends to go through its hand very quickly. I need a way to reload, and Hidden Pathways is a decent way to do it, especially given that I'm manifesting Mecha-Yordles, therefore adding cards to my hand, or creating cards in the hand, and therefore I can get the cost reduction for Hidden Pathways. And finally, up at the 7 mana mark, we have Sion. Now, if Rumble doesn't end the game, Sion will. This deck can get Sion to flip. Basically, as soon as I hit the 7 mana mark, he is coming down flipped, which just makes him extremely strong. He's a very powerful pitch off of a card like Rumble, because then I can get Rumble Overwhelm on top of his a million of other keywords, which makes him even stronger. And of course, if I do have the Sion flip, it's just 2 attacks with a 9 damage Overwhelm unit in a single round, and that's pretty backbreaking. There are some pretty efficient outs to it, but your opponent has to be playing specific colors in order to actually make that work. So that is the deck. It's been a lot of fun to play, honestly, so I'm just hoping to have some fun games here and see if we can't get some wins for you. So I'll see you guys in the games. In here for Game 1 against Abadabba, playing Zombie Anivia. I've never been more disappointed in my life, but hopefully we can just run this guy over and not have to deal with it. Let's put the entire hand back. It's all bad, and this one is not much better, but at least we did open with the Reborn Grenadier, and there's Rumble, so hey, I will totally take it. Now, the fun thing about Reborn Grenadier is your opponent kind of doesn't want to play any removal on him because he's not actually that worth it for them to remove, right? It's a lot of damage, but it's also 2 health, and it's just, it plays around a lot of things. But he's got the Vulpine Wanderer, which that is an interesting card for him to have. I really don't know why he's playing that in Zombie Anivia, but hey, whatever, I'll take it, I guess. Yeah, so we just take that trade, and I think at this point, we're probably discarding both the Hidden Pathways to the Rumble once we hit turn 4. We may want to bank the rest of the mana here. We can't actually play this out just to get something on the field. I'm sure it's just going to die to, like, my opponent. Well, okay, actually. Color me shocked. Color me shocked and surprised. Here comes Rumble. So yeah, we're losing a lot, and we are getting rid of the 2 Hidden Pathways, but this is difficult for my opponent to deal with. He's on 7 mana for the Vengeance, but he can't do it because Rumble's got Spell Shield, so ideally we can just crash in for 11 damage on this round, assuming my opponent doesn't have anything he can do. Okay, Avalanche will kill off the Risen Rider, Fallen Rider and then Risen Rider, but you can't deal with a Rumble, so this should be a Frostbite, though, I would guess. It's not. Okay. That's pretty nice. He probably just, like, gets Vengeance on the backside. But, you know, we got in for 8. That's pretty good. We do have the, into another Rumble. Now, the fun thing about Rumble is you don't actually have to discard the 3 cards twice, or every time you draw him. It gives all Rumbles the keywords when he comes down. That's totally fine. You could play 2 stances on the card. I don't think it does anything for you, and I'm taking all the way. I don't care if he hits me. Yeah, more stance. That's fine. It doesn't save you from the Rumble, so I don't really know what that's doing for you. Are you gonna play the second stance too? I think that would be a bad idea, but like you could. The funny thing about Rumble as well is once he flips, he gets Spell Shield back. So even though this guy's broke his Spell Shield, if Rumble strikes on the next turn, he just gets a Spell Shield back and becomes even harder for my opponent to remove. And we're not going to play anything on this turn. I don't think it's worth it trying to pitch a card to Scrapheap, and I definitely want to hold on to the Rumble, so we're going to try and hold off and see if we can just like open attack, get in for more damage, get the Rumble flip, and then do something else. Okay, so he's got a really beefy guy. But like, that's fine. I don't care. That's totally fine. Alright, and now we just open attack here? Oh, we got Whirling Death too. Phenomenal. Alright, yeah, coming in. I think the only way I lose this is if he Frostbites the Rumble. Because that's burst speed and he doesn't have the Frostbite. Okay, sweet. So we have the Rumble flip. We can now probably pitch something off of the Scrapheap, get another Mecha-Yordle in hand, and we're gonna be off to a... oh, that's right, because he gets it immediately off of his impact. Cool. So we can follow this up with a Dune Hopper mech. I don't want to go too wide on the off chance he's got, like, Ruination, but, like, we're going to be putting a lot of pressure on this guy. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, into Vision, which doesn't help. It's a safe pitch off Scrappy, actually. This guy's got so many cards in hand. What is he waiting for? Like, my assumption is he needs to come down with the Anivia, like, now. Which does break Rumble Spell Shield, but doesn't do anything else to him. She does die to Rumble. I guess I can't... no, I can kill it, actually, because I do have the Pokey Stick on the back. He's actually just going to give up. I'm guessing his hand was just clogged with things that weren't doing anything about Rumble. But hey, that is the power of that card, so I can't complain too much. We were able to pull it off, and let's go ahead and hop into game 2 here. Going into game number 2 against Surveyor K, who's playing Senna Veigar Darkness. It's another Shadow Isles deck. It's going to be a lot of removal. It's going to be very unfortunate to try and deal with. This hand is, like, keepable. You know what? I'm just going to keep it. I think it's fine. We don't have the Reborn Grenadier to get in for damage early, but I think this hand is totally playable. We can definitely do the old yoinky splinky here by pitching the Fallen Rider to the Squeaker in order to get a Mecha-Yordle out. We can theoretically get... I'm always looking for Smash and Dash, and absolutely we need to block this guy. We cannot let him hit more than once. We don't have Smash and Dash, but we do have Fury Horn Charger, who I think is pretty decent. The one thing I'm worried about here is Quietus. Wow, he... what? You just killed... no, you trade this guy. You never... what? I don't understand, but I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth here. We're just swinging, and the reason you just swing with this is because of the bonus effect off the Fury Horn Crasher. Like, you don't care if it dies, which is like what he should have been doing with the Twisted Catalyzer. I don't know why he would try to keep it alive. Like, you just attack with it. I'm not complaining, mind you. I am not complaining. I'm just like shocked. Oh, that's a really tragic guy to get the bonus, because I just want to pitch him. Right? Like, I don't... that's kind of... I guess he's, like, functionally the same as Arisen Rider now, and he does replace himself, so I'm not that beat up about it. I'm just going to play this because I just want a block for the Stilted Roadmaker. Like, we block here with Squeaker. We just let the Squeaker die. And he's actually going to pass on this. Let's go ahead and do this. There's Smash and Dash. And I love Smash and Dash because the like power to cost efficiency is like phenomenal. Plus the impact damage that he gets in for as well. It's really, really nice. So my opponent's now on Ruination mana. And I'm wondering if I should just go... yeah, you know what? Let's just go to attacks. Totally fine. I just want to get in for damage now. Okay, yeah, so he's gonna let this happen. That's fine. I'm holding the Whirling Deaths on the off chance there's something I really need to remove. He could have Senna as well. Okay, there is the Senna, and I think we might be able to jabate him here with the Whirling Death and Smash and Dash. So we'll come down. He should still be too large. Yeah, he still can't die to Darkness, fortunately. Senna can attack, she can try to Darkness him, but, like, I then just Whirling Death, and, like, it's totally fine. I can even double Whirling Death as well. That's totally fine. You can kill that guy. I don't need him anymore. He's done his duty. Let's go ahead, yeah, so we can pitch this. Well, I guess we're on 6 mana, so we can get the Earthshaker. That's not bad. Oh, okay, I see. Actually, you know, let's do this, and let's do this. No, you know, that doesn't do anything. Okay. Let's do this, and see if he has anything else in his hand that he wants to try to come out with. This is the obvious Darkness play. Oh, he's actually going to follow it up. He has to follow it up with 2 things. He does have to follow it up with 2 cards. So the question is, does he actually want to play double cards? Because this actually doesn't kill him on its own. I didn't think about that, but you know, this was always the play. Oh, right, go hard. Okay, which is fine because we still have another Whirling Death. So I'm paying 6 mana, but he's also paying a lot of mana, and he's not removing my dude. We got her. Now I'm trying to remember. Does impact trigger on just? It does not. Okay. So he does still die, is one of the disappointing aspects of this guy, but, like, I just come down with Earthshaker on the next turn. That's... okay. That's fine, though. Earthshaker's got a pretty big booty. So the hope is that we can just hit him for enough damage that it doesn't matter that Veigar's giving him free value. That is the hope. Yeah, so that's fine. Squeaker can die. And he... oh, he almost has the flip, unfortunately. But, I mean, there's 8 damage. I don't think you want to just... okay, well, he's gonna take it. That's fine. We only need one more attack then to force the Veigar to block. Okay, but he's gonna go get another Darkness. This still doesn't kill Earthshaker, though, because their Shaker is, like, just phenomenally thick. This does get him the Veigar flip, though. And he gets the free Darkness on the next turn, and then just kills her, which is unfortunate. Like, Sion off the top is basically what I need at this point. Hilariously as well, Veigar is a Mecha-Yordle. I guess they did it to give him tangential synergy with Rumble, because Rumble, like, specifically has synergy with Mecha-Yordles. I don't know. I'm assuming you have another Darkness Creator in hand, because otherwise this play doesn't make any sense, right? So we can Warmonger. I have no more discard cards in hand, unfortunately. So I think we just want to flood the board with dudes, and then just try to kill him. That's a little awkward. Okay, so we have another Darkness. I don't think I'm going to be able to get past all his dudes. Like, I don't think I can force him to block with the Veigar. And I don't think I can push through enough damage. We'll see. We'll see. You know, depending on what I top deck, I might have something that'll work. And this is the play you have to make, because otherwise Earthshaker has 4 impact, and probably you just lose off of that. The biggest advantage is these guys have fairly low health. I, like, don't even care about blocking here. That's fine. I don't actually care. At this point, I'm kind of hoping, praying for a miracle. Rumble off the top would also be big. That's, like, tragically bad. So we just turn him sideways and hope for the best here. I think is the play. What I might be able to do, actually, he has to block here. Double Pokey Stick for the win? Do we win with double Pokey Stick? It'd be funny, but not funny enough to... yeah, he's got the Vengeance. Yeah, alright. You got it. There's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. I might have drawn something off the Pokey Sticks, but I don't have any ways of rallying outside of hitting the Sion, and I think he just Darknesses me for game on the next turn, so unfortunate, but, like, it's Darkness, and he was playing it unironically, so, like, who really won that game? Let's go ahead and hop into Game 3. Going into Game 3 here against Torzen, playing the Ziggs Taliyah deck. I believe this was, like, Aragorn's pet deck at Worlds. So, I am assuming it's good. I don't know much about it besides that, but I'm assuming it's good. This is a totally keepable hand, so we're not going to worry about it. And it's not Shadow Isles. We are finally playing against a non-Shadow Isles player, which I am quite excited about. And the Warmonger, it's kind of fun. Like, if he doesn't have anything, we can, like, Grenadier, pitch Warmonger, and, like, get in for 5. That's funny. I don't know if it's worth, but, like, it's funny. I think probably what we'll do instead is just Partsapalooza, on the off chance that we have a Manifester on one of the next few turns, and see what we can do. No Manifester, so let's just get the Partsapalooza down. We can save mana for Pokey Stick. Okay, and he will come down to the Rockhopper, which is... do I want to just remove him? Yeah, you know what? Fuck you, Rockhopper. Die, idiot. I did this backwards. Oh, actually... yeah, because my guy's not even going to strike now. Oops. Alright, misplay, boys. So now he just explodes at the end of the turn. Goodbye, idiot. Alright, not great. We can probably try to save... oh. Double Ancient Warmonger is pretty bad. Oh, I think we both just pass here, right? Because, like... no, he will actually develop. This is like the heart and soul of that deck. Like, Rock Bear Shepherd. Turns out all Taliyah needed to be playable was, like, specifically Rock Bear Shepherd, and, like, that's it. It's kind of crazy when you consider it. This hand has been awful to me, but we can maybe get something going here, because we can play our Ephemeral, get rid of the Landmark, get out the Risen Rider, maybe get in for damage. We've got the Whirling Death here as well to work with, plus the Hidden Pathways, which, hard casting it feels pretty bad, but, like, eh. Now, I could get Quicksanded. Oh, actually, okay, he's got something. Bouncing Bomb doesn't do it. He could get rid of one of them, but he couldn't get rid of both. Which, like, I mean, you would just get rid of the Risen Rider, right? I don't think there's any reason not to. Oh, that is very greedy. But it has the ability of punishing me, like, really phenomenally hard. That's actually fine. Yeah, we can just let him die. So I think he gets both of these? He gets one of these? I guess he does get both of them if he plays an ally. So if he comes from Taliyah, who copies it, and then he makes all the rock bears, do I just, like, die here? Like, how many rock bears do you get? Oh, that is the Taliyah flip, too, which is really bad for me. Because I like, can't block her. I don't have enough guys for this. This is really bad. Like, this is not good. I can play the Rumble, but you know what? I do still have the mana for Whirling Death. I'm not going to say I'm out of it yet. He's very large. Spell Shield will help him. I got Challenger off the Partsapalooza too. That's huge. Okay, yeah, the biggest issue is if I block with Rumble, he dies instantly. Unless I do like so, and we take 15. That's fine. It's not really fine, but it's fine. We are going to need the top deck of a light. I don't even know what saves me at this point. Like Sion exactly, I think. Because I just don't think I can summon enough dudes. Okay, Hidden Pathways off the top is pretty big. Okay, we grab this guy. We just, like, crush him into the dust. That's fine. You only get one Whirling Sands off of that. You do draw into something. Okay, totally good. So we kill this man. We get the Rumble flip. Rumble will then make a Mecha-Yordle in hand because I haven't gotten the impact damage through yet. So that does give me a dude. And that's a pretty decent dude as well. He's very large. And so it's really what my opponent wants to follow this up with. Devout. That's fine. It's not really that fun. Oh, I got life. I got lifesteal. Partsapalooza, I am so sorry I ever talked bad to you. That's mad. I mean, the issue is he's, like, still vulnerable, so my opponent's still just gonna, like, pull him and make it so he strikes last. And I think I still just, like, die to that. But, you know, on the off chance. Okay, Pathways. Let's go get something. It's been, like, weirdly lagging. A Whirling Death off the top is huge. Can I save the mana for it? I kind of can't. I, like, actually kind of can't. Unless, because he's gonna pull this guy with, like, one of the Rock Bear Shepherds. We block these two. We still take a hit from one of these guys unless we either have Whirling Death or Bilgerat Rascal. And so I think the play here is we Rascal, we pitch something. I was hoping for Bouncer and Bolt. We didn't get it. That's fine, though, because we still have, I think, enough guys to live. And if he can't kill me, the lifesteal on Sandhopper is going to be huge. That, I think, is game, actually. Oh, no. We got so close. I think that's game, as long as he plays this correctly. Yeah. Yeah. He did play it correctly. I don't know that there was a way for me to play around that, though. Like, if I guess, even if I had Whirling Death, actually, because I could have killed one of these guys, and I still take 4. So, yeah, no, I didn't have a way out, unfortunately. Damn, so close to stabilizing. I actually got, like, phenomenal pulls off of the Partsapalooza, but it was just that the vulnerable on Sandhopper was really tragic. I don't even know that if there was a way for me to play around that, right? Like, I had to get him down to have enough blocks to maybe not die. I don't know. I'd have to look it back. Unfortunate, but we all know how this goes. I always go 50-50, so let's hop into Game 4, see if we can't make it even. Hopping into Game 5 against Algol, who's playing, you know, it's not Seraphine, so I'm happy about this, but it is Aphelios. And as much as I love Aphelios, I love Moonboy, I think he's a lot of fun to play, but anytime he shows up in a deck, you know it's going to be degen. Can I hit another Reborn Grenadier off the top? That would be really funny. Okay, we can't do that. That's like fine, though. We can play him, we can get out the Partsapalooza, and we are in for 3. Like, I'm still expecting this deck to be degen. You don't need Ezreal for a deck to be degen. All you need is Seraphine, as it turns out. There was someone I played against using this. Okay, cool, yeah. we'll bank the mana here. Oh, that's actually really nice. So we can Scrapheap, pitch that, go into Smash and Dash. We can drop the Smash and Dash, and this is threatening a lot of damage. Now, he could, like, Thermo Beam the Smash and Dash, which is, like, fine, honestly. Main decking, super cool star chart. I guess you're looking for a, yeah, Crescent Strike. Okay. Tragic. Oh, I got Overwhelmed, too, off of the Partsapalooza. I'm so sorry I ever shit-talked you. Like, this card has done nothing but work for me this like, set. Now, granted, I haven't won, but it's done things. It's shown up. The double vision is pretty bad. And Viktor is pretty bad. But let's see what he gets. Like, anything other than tough, and, like, I'm fine. He can't attack into that, so, like... What does he got? Lifesteal? Fine. Like, he still dies to Smash and Dash, right? We've got plenty of mana, too. Okay, let's Rascal. Bouncer and Bolt would be kind of big. I actually don't really know too much what Bouncer and Bolt does for me, except I could Pokey Stick, and I can force the Viktor to block, and then, like, just murder him, right? So here we go. Overwhelm as well, plus we have the Spell Shield off of the Bilgerat Rascal. Okay, that's probably fine. Quick Attack. Yeah, that's actually totally fine. So we're going to grab him. And I kind of want to see what my opponent wants to commit to first. Okay, Goat Block. Now let's go ahead and do this. Just kill him dead, because we forced him to block. Now we won't even strike, so my opponent actually won't gain any life. I have Overwhelm on Bouncer and Bolt, so we're getting in for free damage. Oh, that was actually an impact proc. Oh my god, this dude's getting obliterated! Holy crap! Well, there's Moon Boy. He just follows it up with a second champion. I've been like... Okay, maybe this is just like, you know, bias, but I feel like I never... Whenever I record these, I feel like I never see any of my champion cards, and my opponent, like, can't not see their champion cards. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's a Gravitum to stop the, yeah. You have to stop Bouncer and Bolt, or Smash and Dash from swinging, because they just end the game. Unironically, we hardcast Warmonger. And we kind of say, can you stop me? Like, yeah, it would be nice to have the Smash and Dash to swing in, but I don't think he has to play another unit here, right? Or he has to remove the guy, which he could with a Thermo Beam. There's nothing he can do to Bouncer and Bolt, because Spell Shield. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, go get a random guy. You try to get... I don't think... Can you phase more than once in a round? I don't actually remember. Okay, that's fine. We just, like, open attack, right? Like, I think I have enough... Yeah, like, I think I have enough to do it. We pull you. We get in for minimum 2, but then with my combat tricks as well, we're, like, fine. Hex Obliterator is tragic, but honestly, that's fine. That's, like, a very important card, and it's one of the... Like I mentioned before, there are, like, some really big counters to Sion. That's one of them, because it obliterates him, so you don't get the revive. But, like, so that's actually fine that we got it. We can come up with another Warmonger. And, like, Rumble off the top would be big, Sion off the top would be big, Bilgerat Rascal off the top is, like, terrible and not big. Well, I don't think there's a lot we can do about it. I forgot he's a 0-3 now. Kind of funny. Okay, give me something big here. I don't think I've, like, ever manifested this guy, but Shadow Tech Walker does end the game. Shadow Tech Walker, like, objectively ends the game and has Spell Shield. So we may want to slow roll this. See if my opponent tries to pop off with a Seraphine. Ooh, that's actually kind of awkward. That little bit of extra health, I think, is going to be big. He's just going to Thermo Beam. Okay, that's actually fine. We're losing him, but we do have the Shadow Tech Walker. And I don't have... Oh, we got it! We got it! He's dead to that! Oh, that means he doesn't have anything at burst speed that he can actually remove the guy with. Woo! He gets so many cards in hand. I assumed he had an option, but, like, man, who needs champion cards, right? Like, we're just gonna Mecha-Yordle the dude out. Like, Some really, really good hits there. So this deck is just fun to play. I don't think I can have a bad time playing this deck. So anyways, that's going to be it for me, though, guys. I hope you enjoyed the deck. Let me know if there's anything I can do to make edits to the deck, maybe make it a little bit more competitive. If there are any obvious misplays I made. Again, I feel like Game 2, there's something I could have done better, but let me know all that down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. If you enjoyed the video today, go ahead and leave it a like. And if you really enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days as well, plus the every so often Legends of Runeterra content. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you all later.